So, Autism Awareness Month is coming up in April, and a lot of autistic people are actually quite angry about this because what you have to get is awareness. It doesn't mean that you appreciate, you accept us, or that you understand us. It's like saying, oh yeah, I'm aware that peanut butter exists. Okay, but doesn't mean you ever tasted peanut butter. I know that's a silly analogy, but you can say, I'm aware of all these different things, but do you truly know anything about it? I'm aware about the air exists. I'm aware of this. And this different level of awareness and just a very fake mockery. What we have oftentimes advocated for instead is acceptance, which is not only that you're aware that it exists, that you accept that you look at it in it and you say it's okay, because all we want to do is feel appreciated. And then, but what's even more problematic about this month, that really pisses me off and a bunch of other autistic people, is that a bunch of merchandise gets sold, and all these merchandise get sold, and none of them are from autistic creators or people. Really a horrible thing, because we face, and I'll link some links below about all the stats, we face a very high underemployment rate. Some people say over 80%, and yet we can't make our own merchandise to sell so we get funding, or for self-advocacy, or for programs for it. No, some person is making money off of us. And the thing is, I can make my shirt saying, on the neurotypicals, I accept neurotypicals. I accept them for all the problems, in that how they can't give you a straight answer, how they overlook into minor details, how they think they're always on top. Like, I can make a shirt saying all that stuff and all the problems, and I can make neurotypical awareness, blah, 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 and keep all the money for myself. You're literally saying that we can't have jobs, and yet also taking away our jobs, and then talking about how we have a deficit because we have no jobs, like the cause of the problem, everything. Then you put a lot of symbols on there that are actually a lot of us consider hate symbols, and I'll have some video links and some other links about it, such as the puzzle piece, layer blue, but all these are from very bad organizations historically, that the puzzle piece was from an organization that we're missing something and that we need to be fixed. It was kept being used by really awful organizations, and made all by non-autistic people, and then heavily promoted by non-autistic people that treat us like a disease and awful and take a lot of money away from us. Blue was because we were all male, supposedly. Turns out that whole theory is totally debunked many times over, but they kept the blue, which also was confused with teal, which teal was used for a lot of awareness campaigns for people with severe food allergies, and led to a couple cases of people it had to total rebranding of those groups of people, like the blue, like they used blue pumpkins, and teal pumpkins, and now the teal pumpkins for kids with severe allergies do not work anymore, and they were told to stop. It has led to a lot of just power consumption, but also blue used to be for depression, and they had to get rid of that, even though the complaints. So we have our own symbols we made up, which are gold, rainbow infinity, tone it down toupee, and red. Red is directly against the blue, red and crimson. Gold because AU for autism. AU is the symbol for gold, and it's used in some places, particularly when they're talking about AU stuff. Rainbow is used for more neurodiversity as a whole, including with non-autistic neurodiversity. Tone down toupee has to do with more sensory issues generally. These are generalizations. We oftentimes use the infinity symbol, which I'll draw. The infinity symbol is, actually I'll just look up autism symbols, and you'll see them all nicely. But the puzzle piece is the bad one, and look, it's the first one the post comes up, that all we don't like. And also all the codes of pulse piece and all the confusing stuff oftentimes overwhelms us. But we have the infinity symbol, which is the most popular, and it's usually is one of these rainbows, but it's not a particular rainbow. There's many variations of it. Then there's like AU with autism, or autism acceptance. AU with autism. And then there's a bunch of other ones. And acceptance is also, again, so many ones that look bad. And just people making money off of us, just already popping up. And so AU autism, gold. It's good. It's hard to find a good one, but like, yeah, this is a one with a little roof over the AU also, or gold autism symbols. Finally, here you'll find more on Facebook. But that's usually better. But again, it has to be made by an actual autistic person or person donating to self-advocacy network. And a lot of them only donate to Autism Speak, which is a horrible organization that spreads hate and vilifies us. And the board is super rich and just makes money off us. And then we have ASN, Autism Self-Advocacy Network, which is where you should donate because they're actually autistics. Or you have AIM, Autistic Inclusivity Meetings, which does great work just answering parents and educators' questions and more. You have to be careful with AIM because there's apparently a couple of organizations that I do not support have the same acronym, AIM. So just make sure it's the one by Emma Dalmain. I might be saying her name wrong. I apologize if I do. And John Greeley, Greally. I might be saying his name wrong. There's ON, which is Autistic Women and Non-Binary Network. Does also great work. There's some local groups, but you have to make sure that they're actually for autism and not about curing it, about accepting us. And I'll link also again, I'll link a bunch of things showing how, about these symbols and also about how a lot of these organizations they donate to are good, bad. Now, if you want to celebrate it and you're a non-autistic person, and you want to do it for your child or family member, make sure your child or family member actually wants it. Because imagine if you're a kid, you get embarrassed by what your parents do all the time, and especially if they don't listen to you. And if your kid, maybe you have the best intention, but your kid just doesn't want it. Another thing is, you're also taking up their identity. It's not your identity to take. If they want to do it with you, that's fine. But if you're taking an identity and they don't want it, what if people make that whole identity of being parent that they had a boy or a girl, or that the child was this and that, and the child didn't want that? And it's just really awkward, and it objectifies them. And it also makes it sets a precedent for other people to do the same and take autism as, like, take control of autism and the identity of autism when they themselves are autistic. So they shouldn't, so that you're setting a bad precedent. Beyond just setting a very bad precedent, you do something else, and that is you start saying that I will not listen to my child in the future. And then if you have a child with PDA, that child with PDA will even take it back and will start getting a same identity or think it's something for display. Again, if your child wants to do it, that's something totally different. Just make sure they actually want to do it. Well, that is it on the subject. And please understand that acceptance is better than awareness, and be careful where you purchase from. It's better not to make a big deal about it, especially because it's also, I forgot to say, a huge matter of safety for us. When we adults take pride in it, it is something totally different. When we adults take pride in it, we've already taken identity up. We're older. It is our thing to do it. We're giving consent ourselves. We also know when it's safe or not safe, and sometimes it's not safe. We can defend it also better and explain better, because no matter who you are, if you're not autistic, you don't have the lived experience, and you don't also, you're not, an autistic child is not a grown adult that's had all the defense, and you do not know all the safety things that go. I've been hurt by pretty severely by people that the people thought were perfectly fine people because they weren't autistic and did not have the same ableism directed against them. Well, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, which is really hard, and 40,000 watch hours, again, really hard within a year. To please try to get your friends to subscribe, share the video, comment below with any questions, ideas for future topics, or any compliments. Thank you very much. Goodbye.